Okay. Sorry, I just literally dropped my camera like 30 seconds before this started. So hopefully it's all good. So hello everybody. Welcome to GeekGirlCon, Geek Girl Creates. My name's Emerald and pronouns she, her. I do social media for GeekGirlCon, specifically on the Facebook page. Today we're going to be talking about rock painting and maybe painting some rocks. So that's going to be super fun. I'm excited to be here with y'all, and I have some rocks ready, so I'm open to ideas later about like, what should we paint on this rock? I don't know. What about this one? It's funky shaped. So look forward to that later, but I thought I'd start by going through some rocks that I've already painted. So I have kind of my supplies over here to the side, and we can talk about like what supplies you might need or can use to make your own rocks and why, and how to find your rock painting community a little later. So you can hear the rattle of the rocks. I have a couple boxes here. So for some examples, so everybody has kind of their own, like, you know, unique art style, and however you want to paint and whatever you want to paint, you know, that's totally up to you and, you know, your muse. So these are some that I've done. I like this Yoda one. Yoda. Oh, and I can also show, this is a good way for me to not drop rocks on my laptop. It's just, Yoda. We have like a Love is Love. We have some We Can Play It type Meeple / Rosie the Riveter crossovers. I made a bunch of these and gave them as gifts. Some like rainbow fish. Oh, this is, took 2 rocks from a beach trip I went to with my mom and then painted them kind of to match so they'd be like one scene together. Let's see if I can show that up here. I don't know if I have the skills. Oh, thanks, Alyssa. Yeah, Yoda is a fun one to draw. Aw, this one is my mom. She's a mermaid taking a picture of me doing a handstand. Of course, my actual handstands on the beach don't look like that and look more like me falling over. But that's okay. It's about your imagination. This is super fun. This is kind of a half and half type of method that I'm going to work on tonight with this seasonal type tree one. This is where you know, just put some painter's tape down the middle, draw half, switch it over, and then do the other half. So this is this cute little owl winking in the daytime because they're asleep. Ooh. And then at night they're wide awake. So I like can't get rid of this one because it's too cute. Oh, I gotta keep it for myself. We have some bees in love. Aww. And what else do we have? Oh, I stole back a bunch of rocks that I've given to my friends for this demonstration. We have this like tower of meeples. This is like their family. And a dog, of course. And another fun Star Wars one. And another fun Star Wars one. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, it says pew, pew, pew on the side. You can't really see that. Here we go. Maybe this way will be better. I hope you're all humming ominous music right now. Pew, pew. And then, you know, a less threatening pew, pew, pew on the other side. If you're feeling more the light side today. So, oh, and yeah, so I do a lot of times kind of choose what I paint based on like what shape it is. I was like, oh my gosh, that one's shaped just like a Star Destroyer. Gotta try to draw a Star Destroyer on it, obviously. So that's how both of these came about. This one has a fun background of stars that was painted on. And also says, "No moon or bust" on the back bumper sticker. Painting on both sides of a rock is more challenging, and we can talk about that a little later. I have this other one that I did to look like my friend's Prius. She drives an orange Prius. And then she said, looks like her Prius got into an accident because it's a little smushed. I mean, it's obviously not shaped exactly like a Prius. I'm so sorry. I have this as one of my favorites. It was very square shaped, so I tried to make it shaped like a dice. Or look like a dice. I didn't do anything to shape it. But, you know, not all the sides are equally flat, so it mostly rolls. It's very rare to get a 6, which is a bummer. But, yeah, again, painting on all sides of a rock is a challenge, so I usually just paint on one side. It's the easiest. Although a lot of people put like some sort of signature on the back or like a hashtag based on like where they're located. Like I know there's a group, Puyallup Rocks, that you can put a hashtag, and then like if you travel somewhere or find it, you can kind of create a community and be like, oh wow, I'm in Texas, I found this one from Puyallup, or oh, I'm from this area and I found this one for this event or something. So that's kind of a fun like community building thing. And this is just kind of some of the ones that I've done. I don't think I did this one actually, but you know, you can paint whatever you want on rocks. You can paint just designs. You don't have to be an artist. You can paint, this is, my neighbor painted this one. It's kind of raised. She used acrylic in this like mandala type style. Okay, I'm not going to drop this one on my laptop. I would not like that. But I don't know if you can kind of see it's got a little bit of a texture to it since she used paint, and it is, so it's more raised. Yeah, so here's some rocks. Oh, and I actually have some in process rocks that we can look at too. What do I have over here? Although some of these are gifts, so maybe I should hide them, but I don't know. If you're into Scrabble, oh, here's another example of me just finding a rock and thinking it was shaped like a duck's foot, so trying to paint it to look like a duck's foot, and then I wrote quack on it, you know, in case it wasn't obvious, because I didn't draw from life, paint from life, whatever. So there's a little duck foot. Plant. Oh, here's me another one of me trying to do this like kind of dot type art. These where you just do like dots in like whatever kind of pattern you want. This way, there we go. Like, is this a heart? Yeah, I think I was trying to make this one shaped like a heart. Unclear. Alright, there we go. Yeah, it's not really my forte, but it's fun. So it's fun to try different things every once in a while. I think I made some for last year's election that just said like vote, you know, so you can use like a pause or whatever. Oh, here's some very fun ones that are in process. Just kidding, they're just painted a color. Well, I'll put those on the maybe we work on those tonight pile. Oh, here's one that I was like, this seems like its face shaped like a cat stretching. But then I just drew an outline of a cat on it with my paint pens, one of the supplies that I usually use, but then I never got any further on it. Oh well. You can paint big rocks, like this one. Oh my god, it's so heavy. But again, it's like, I was like, oh, that's shaped like a car. I'm gonna paint a car on it. And you can paint teeny tiny rocks, like this one. I was like, which one of these is smaller? This one or this one? This one is me trying to like be fancy. Well, they're both me trying to be fancy. This one looks like supposed to look like an emerald. It's like, basically I found this very flat, used very flat gravel from our like driveway area, and was like, ooh, how fun would it be if I tried to make them look like little gems. And I started with emerald, of course, because that's my name. But again, painting on both sides is a chore. And also the smaller, the harder it is. You know, exacting details. So yes, sapphire and ruby are not as far along. But here's like another, oh, I didn't do these either. These were done by a friend of mine. It's just another little tiny one with a little design on it. Another teeny tiny one with a teeny tiny teacup. Some more teeny tiny teacups. Here's another one where I tried, it was both teeny tiny, and I was like, oh, it's shaped like blah blah blah. I'm going to try to make it look like blah blah blah. It's like rock has like a hole in it and some other holes. So I was like, perfect, that's the Death Star. Work in progress. Yeah, they could be infinity stones. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's next up. Here's the Death Star with its, you know, Millennium Falcon there. Because there's like little holes in the rock right there. And on the side we have some TIE fighters firing with some more tiny tiny holes as the, you know, laser bursts. I know this requires a lot of like steady work, and sometimes my hands are like no. So, oh, I also have this in progress one, which is fun. It's a Meeple Witch. I don't know if you recognize that character. Maybe you'll recognize it if I turn it around. Wah! A sea witch. Yep. So double-sided is fun, but you know, here's her counterpart. Also, not much more in progress. It was really hard to draw bodies on a rock. Isn't it neat though? So yeah, it's a lot of different techniques and styles you can do. If you may have noticed that some of the rocks kind of look a little bit different in their finish, and that's either because I used paint versus paint pens, or that's because they've been sprayed or haven't been sprayed with a sealer. So if they look kind of shinier like this, ooh, shiny. Let's see, this one versus the Sea Witch. Yes, it is Ursula, yeah. Ursula as, you know, Ursula as her human disguise. Feel like has a name. Vanessa? Yeah. it's Vanessa, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but yeah. Ursula Meeple. Also Ursula Meeple as a human. Vanessa. Maybe. Probably. I think? Anyway, so this Ursula Witch, double-sided, has not been sealed. Has no sealer on it to protect it from weather or anything. Yeah, but this one does. So you can see it's kind of shiny. And this one is just like a rock with paint on it. Oh yay, thank you, Janae. I love being right about random Disney trivia. Cool. So, let's put some of these away. And then we can talk about what you would need to paint your very own rocks and why. And then we can paint some. Like, ooh, which ones do I work on? I want to work on all of them. This way, this way, this way, this way. Looks like the Prius and the Star Destroyer are getting into a fight, but the Prius is going to win because it's a much bigger. And this cute ladybug. Okay, so put this off to the side. Okay. And let's get some supplies out. So what do you need to paint your rocks? First, you need a drink of water. Oh, you see that? It like splashed up onto my nose. Shh. The first thing you need, obviously, is rocks. And these you can buy craft rocks, you know, online or your local craft store. You can get them from outside, as long as you're, you know, following local laws, ordinances. Don't like take them from national monuments or your neighbor's house. But if you get rocks from, you know, just like a park and stuff, just make sure you're following whatever your local laws are, and be respectful about it. Don't break the law. Yeah. So I get mine from a variety of places, just like when I'm out and about. I get them from like my yard. Like if I'm digging in the garden, I find a rock, I'm like, oh, that might work. If you're gonna get like craft rocks or something, they're usually better to paint on, just because they're usually smoother. This isn't from a craft store, but painting on a rock with more texture, like for example this one, is more challenging. Because, you know, it's going to be harder to make straight lines and stuff, but maybe you want your art to not have straight lines, you know? So that's just something to consider if you want to try it for the first time. Try to find like a good skipping stone is generally going to be a good rock to paint on. You know, something like this that you might find, you know, by a body of water. It's been kind of worn down by the waves, so it's got a nice smooth surface to act as your canvas. Yeah, so something like this. I just kind of, if I see cool rocks or I'm like gathering rocks from the beach or something, I just have a container, I think, that I keep them in. And it's just one of these, like a bigger sized Rubbermaid, well, medium, I don't know. I think it's pretty big, so. And then in here is just, check it out, rocks. So this one would be, I don't know why I grabbed this. This is like, would be super hard to paint on. It's got many porous texture. Like, I'm not a geologist, but if you know what kind of rock this is, it's a kind that's not good for painting on or drawing on. These are like unwashed, so now my hands are dirty. Because yeah, the first thing you want to do is wash them, because it can be hard to draw on something covered in dirt. So then, like within my container of rocks, I have a smaller container of rocks that have been cleaned. I just wash them under running water. There may be like some other things that are good for, if you want it to, don't want to damage your brushes or your paints or something, like some better way to officially wash them, you know, with like, I don't know, what's that stuff? Nail polish remover or You kind of clean on things so there's no like residue, but I don't care that much. So I don't do that. I just wash them in the sink. Sometimes I don't use soap and water. I also don't use, if I'm going to use paint, I don't use my good paintbrushes. I use older, gross paintbrushes. This is a delightful collection of paintbrushes I have. As you can see, they're very, very fancy. I think I got them at, you know, well, a variety of places. Like some the dollar store, some in like paint packages, but they've definitely seen better days. They all have like a nice coating of who knows on them. So if you're gonna paint with paint, I would recommend using you know, less than stellar quality. It's a great way to keep your older paintbrushes in use. What paint do you use, you ask? I personally use acrylic. Where did I put that stuff? Ah, I put it over here. I like to work on multiple rocks at a time because, as you may know, you probably know, paint needs to dry before you put anything else on it. So when I'm using acrylic, I just use like kind of, again, don't use like nice fancy Liquitex paint. I mean, unless you want to. If you're a fancy artist and you're gonna sell these rocks for $1 million after you paint a masterpiece on them, then, you know, go for it with that, you know, Liquitex, Blick, whatever cool paint you have. I personally have in here for today some acrylic paint I got from Dollar Tree, I think. Some further acrylic paint I got from IKEA. These are like leftover little paint palette-y things from like some paint by number projects I did. And some further acrylics that are just like, ooh, they were part of a kit. So I have a variety of paint. And you don't necessarily need, I mean, poster paint is fine. And you don't necessarily need like a nice palette to put your paint on. You can put it on, if you're gonna like mix colors or something, you can use like, you know, a paper plate. If it's not just paper, but if it has like the laminate part on the top is probably better. Or like an old pie tin. I use those a lot. This is like my brush cleaner bowl, or like plastic to-go containers. This is the top of a spray paint lid. This is what I use to put some water in to, hopefully it doesn't leak. I don't think it has any cracks, but we're about to find out. Cracks or no cracks. Cool. It's just what I use to like dip my brush in if I want to use it again with a different color. I mean, it's just like, if you've ever painted anything, then you know. Yeah, IKEA really does have it all. What don't they have? Tolerable crowd management on the weekends. I love going to IKEA, but going on the weekends, just don't ever do it. Don't do it, people. You may think you want to. It's better to go on a weekday, even if you're tired and have worked all day, because, yeah, weekends at IKEA are gross. But they do have a surprising amount of, like, crafty type things and cool, like, kid things that I'm like, I want that. I need, like, a wooden dollhouse. False. I do not. So, rocks. How to get them? Covered it. Paint? What is that? Covered it. What else do you need is you need something to protect your rock from the elements, from weather. If you're going to put it outside. If you're just going to keep it inside, it's probably fine. There's a variety of kind of sealers that you can use, either paint on or spray on. I like the spray on kind because you can do more than one at once, which is great. So you can just get a bunch, line them up. You want to seal your rocks because if you're going to leave them outside somewhere, if like paint falls off of it, technically that's littering. We don't want to litter. You want something that's like non-yellowing, non-toxic type thing. This is what I use is Krylon Crystal Clear acrylic coating, and it gives, it's kind of like shiny-ish a little bit, and you want to make sure your paint is dry, and then you want to spray it on there. If sometimes you might need a couple coats, especially if you are doing something that's like all sides, like that car one or the dice that I showed you earlier. Yeah, so this is what I use. Other people use other things. There's like a range of sealing type products that you can get at, you know, craft stores or hardware stores sometimes, you know, will have kind of stuff like this, or art supply things. Yeah, this one says it dries in minutes, and you always want to, but it does kind of remain tacky a little bit afterwards. So that's something to be aware of. And make sure you spray it in a well-ventilated area, not in your house. These give my mom a headache, so I spray it in the garage, which I would do anyway. I wouldn't spray this inside the house. But then I have to like leave them in the garage for a while until the spray dissipates, or the smell of it, because yeah, it's not like a pleasant smell. It smells like paint. Cool. So the other thing that I use a lot, this is just kind of my style, but you gotta find what style works best for you. Painting, pens, other, combo. I use Posca paint pens. I have this, let's see if I can maybe pan over there without being too jerky and weird. This is my little container of paint pens. Oh, wow, so many colors. I think I got them mostly on Amazon, maybe? They are great. And they come in a variety of sizes. So I think the set, the original set, oh, they're not all Posca paint pens. Actually, some of them are a different brand that I got somewhere else. Oh yes, these are graffiti. Graffiti. Ooh. But I like the Posca ones better. That's what a lot of people in the community like to use as their paint pens. It's just a good brand. So let's see here. If I take out some that I have all of the colors. Okay. Here is purple in the 3 sizes. Okay. We have, this is like thick tip, regular. And then we also have fine tip. So if you're doing a project that you want extra detail on, you want the fine tip. If you're just like coloring the whole rock, you want maybe the thick tip. Yeah. So, and I can sample those on a rock. In fact, let's see, these are just samples, right? Oh, I painted this rock where I just colored on it earlier to like test the stream, and I just wrote, I am so annoyed, but then I colored over it with gray. So this is finger for scale. This is what the thick line looks like. Yeah, and don't touch it right away because then you'll get purple on your thumb. Like so. Unless you meant to do that. This is just the regular? Is it called something else? These are made in Japan, so everything on it is in Japanese, and I don't speak Japanese. But a line would look like this. You can tell I used it on top of like another color. They have you have to like shake it and then do like press down. Whoa! Ah! Purple puddle. Well, there goes the demonstration. Demonstrate on this one. This is a regular line. Okay, so this will go back to doing the thick one again, I guess. It's like only slightly thicker, but it's good for coloring surfaces. Okay, and then the thin looks like this. It's pretty thin. It's good for details if you want to write something or outline something. I think this cat, I used the black one. Yeah, so that is the different sizes of pen that are available that I have. I do have some too that are like super huge. This, like, oh my god, what am I gonna, wow, jumbo size. It's like this rock isn't big enough to demonstrate. Oh, yeah, I'm messy. So yeah, there are other sizes available, I guess was the point of that part of the demonstration. Yay! So, cool. Oh, there's purple all over my hand now. Fortunately, I know that I'm a mess, so I kept some paper towels nearby. Which you should keep nearby if you're going to be painting anyway, you know. Towels, emergency cleanup supplies, water, an apron if you're really worried about it. Yeah, so there are a lot of cool like communities around rock painting. I mean, who knew? If you just go on Facebook and Google, if you go on Facebook and Google, then you don't know how the internet works. But that's okay, because neither do I. If you go on Facebook and just search, like, your city and rocks, there's probably, like, a Facebook group called, you know, Seattle Rocks. And, or sometimes organizations do it, like, oh, this is like a group of, I don't know, what do you do? You're a writer rocks, writing rocks or something. You're a singer, singing rocks. There's probably some sort of community where they're like, oh, let's paint rocks, and then write on the back, hashtag whatever, and then share them on here. And it's a fun community building thing. So I'm a member of the, you know, Puyallup Rocks group, and then occasionally, well, pretty regularly, I don't really follow it, but people will post, oh, you know, I found this rock, it said hashtag Puyallup Rocks on the back, this is where I found it. Oh, I can't really see that, sorry, I should have used a different color. Side note, it's often a good idea, especially with dark colored rocks, to give it some sort of base coat, like this, in a solid color. Usually white is good. Hashtag Puyallup Rocks. So we could, in theory, be like, you know what, we should start a campaign of rock painting for GeekGirlCon, and we could have the hashtag GeekGirlCon Rocks. And then, you know, paint some rocks, take them with you on your next trip to the park, your next trip to Albuquerque, whatever. Drop them in a park, and then they just will bring joy to other people's day. That's why a lot of people do is they just, besides giving them as gifts or decorating your garden, there's like a big community of people who like hide them in like parks or public places, which is great for kids. Kids love, like, it's really helpful to be like, oh yeah, we'll go outside in nature to the park and like try to see if we can find any cool rocks. And a cool rock for a kid is just like any rock that says anything on it or has a picture of anything on it. So the bar is achievable for all levels of artist. You know, if you paint a rock and it just says, like, just has a smiley face on it, like, some kid is gonna find that and love it. Oh, this pen has seen better days. See? Done. Put that on a bench in your local park, and some kid's gonna find it and be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, I found this treasure at the park. I personally like to write like inspirational things on them, you know, like, and then leave them places as like a spread the kindness type of a thing. Like, you look really pretty today, or I believe in you, whatever. And then people find them and hopefully it makes their day better. So yeah, it's a fun community activity for any kind of community you're already a part of, or your family. You know, you can just go spread the love. Some businesses I know have like an the Dutch Brothers by my house has just like a bunch of rocks that other people like drop off there. Like, they're painted in cool ways, and then it's just a collection. And now they have too many, so now last time I went there, it's like a give one, take one type of a situation. Either one is cool. I think it'd be cool to do rocks with my veggie names, because sometimes I forget what I plant where. Yeah, that's a great idea. I wanted to do that too, but I wanted to like have like bigger rocks, and it's hard to find bigger rocks that I feel like I could write something on. But yeah, labeling things in your garden with rocks is a great idea, so go for it. You could label them multiple, you know, like it could say cucumbers, and then it could also say Bob, Jim, Joe. Name your vegetables however you want. Yeah, I need to do that. Well, that's a great idea. I also forget what I plant where. I'm like, I'll definitely remember what I planted here. False. I will not. Yeah, so I should do that. Oh yeah, there's also like rock libraries now, I guess. It's like where you can do the same thing. It's kind of like a give one, take one, you know, like a free little library or a food library where you can put rocks you've painted in there, and then take ones out that you like to decorate your garden, or give as a gift, or just keep because you like them, or just keep because you like them for a little while, and then drop them off somewhere in a park. So yeah, those are some reasons why you might. I think the fair too had, I saw, I mean, last time there was a Washington State Fair. Puyallup Fair. It's Puyallup Fair. It's not Washington State Fair. Okay? Don't get me started on it. Anyway, the Washington State Fair had a thing, I think, where they were painting rocks as part of, like, an art display just on the grounds. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, from the community. Well, it was fun. So there are opportunities if you're not just like, if you don't have a purpose already. You're like, oh yes, I want to paint rocks to line my garden path, or name my vegetables, or, you know, I want to give this one as a gift to someone. This is like based on real people. Can you guess which one of these rock maidens that are incomplete and weird looking is me? Which one of these rock ladies that rock, is Emerald? Yes, do the Puyallup. I'm not the only one who still knows all the words to that song, right? You can do it at a trot, you can do it at a gallop, you can do it real slow so your heart don't palpitate. Just don't be late. Do the Puyallup. Okay. Who's in charge of these decisions? I don't like it. So, yes, please, please sing that song all night. Everybody, if you take one thing from this video about rock painting, it's that we're bringing back that song. Okay, here's an idea. We all paint rocks that just say, you know, the lyrics to the song on it. And that's it. That's it. That's all we do. Oh, this is my microphone wire. Okay. So you can paint rocks for whatever reason you want. Maybe it just brings you joy. Maybe it's a gift. Maybe you want to use them as a purpose. Decorate your garden. Decorate your friend's garden. Maybe you want to support a cause or a community. Maybe you just want to express yourself creatively. All of that is totally fine and valid, and I support that. So, I definitely want to work on this rock tonight. This is one that I used only paint on. So, and the idea was that half of it would be like a tree in spring, summer, and then the other half would be, you know, a tree in winter or whatever. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm open to suggestions. I also asked about this rock, this little, oh, I'm kind of in shadow there. This little rock that I was like, oh, it looks kind of, from this side, it looks like somebody took a bite out of it. I guess like, so I was like, maybe paint it to look like a cookie, but then it also really looks like a crescent moon, so I don't really know what to paint this one like. It's like I said, I am a lot of times inspired just by like the shape of a rock. Like, oh, that looks like I'm gonna paint it to look like that. That's just kind of what I do sometimes, but I don't always have to do that. So if you have any other suggestions, a moon, a sailor moon, yeah, a hat, a beret, maybe? I don't know. Yes, Jerry is Cold 13, Apocalypsa. Yeah, I am the far right. Green glasses. Dash me. I'm not wearing those glasses right now, but close enough. So, congratulations! 50 points to, you know, you guys. I also have some other just random rocks that I was like, these would be fun to paint, but I don't know what to paint on them, so maybe, ooh, a croissant. Oh my gosh. Well, now I'm hungry. Okay, so a croissant, a moon, a beret, a sailor moon, a cookie with a bite taken out of it. Oh, a boat? Oh, a canoe or something? No, a shark tooth? Oh, we have a +1 vote to croissant. So I'm thinking, yes, I'm like, how do you draw a croissant? They're like brown with some lines. Ooh, maybe it could be a chocolate croissant. Those are my favorite. I know, but I don't want it to be too realistic. What if I get confused and try to eat it? That would not be ideal. So I'm gonna get out my... Oh, so how I did this rock halfway down the middle was with this painter's tape. I don't think I need it for the other half, but I'm still gonna use it if I can find the end, because it just keeps that line, you know, crisper. Crisper? More crisp? Help me out, English majors. Well, it's not crispier, which is what I almost said. Baby in a bassinet. I assume that's a vote for the Croissant Beret Moon Rock. I did do one that was shaped similarly, that looked like a baby. I don't have it because I gave it to someone as a gift, but I might have it. I have a picture on my phone. Hold on. It was pretty cute because the baby was wearing a little Star Trek uniform, so let's see here. Rocks. Oh, okay. Aww. Oh, glare. Yeah, cute little baby with their Star Trek outfit on. Oh, so cute. Oh. So that's an option. This rock is a little smaller though, so I don't know if I could do that on this rock with any level of detail that would be, you know, observable. But it's a possibility. Emerald! I've been shouted at. Okay, so I guess the first thing I would do... Yes, ginger babies are cute. That was before my friend's baby was born, but she's ginger, so I was like, maybe? As I want to paint some blue on this half of this tree rock before I forget. Okay. These old like paint by numbers things I have also make good like mixing palette on the fly. Like, this is like a white color. But I wish it was more blue. Get my Dollar Tree, Dollar Store. I don't remember which one. I don't know. Do you have a preference? Dollar Tree versus Dollar Store? If I said it was Dollar Tree, am I gonna get like Dollar Store haters or Dollar Tree haters? Dollar Store lovers being like mad at me? I hope not. Sometimes I mix right on the rock, so that's a thing. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it looks super great because a lot of this will hopefully be behind the rest of the tree. But I do just kind of want to, you know, I should have just done the whole thing a blue color before I even did like the other half. But, you know, that's all part of the learning process, I guess. Oh, see, this is why I'm glad I had the painter's tape on there. Because I know myself. So this is looking kind of too happy a blue. I mean, if I want this half to be more of a winter sky, maybe it needs to be more gray. That's what I'm thinking based on my experience of the sky in the Pacific Northwest. So maybe if I put some black in it? This is, again, my process for this is just, I don't care! Oh, this IKEA paint has, I've had for a while, so no guarantees, you know, Janae, that they have paint there currently. Who knows? Oh yeah, let's get that dark, overcast. Whoa, that's too dark. Look to it. I should have probably chosen a larger paintbrush to do this backgroundy bit, but you know what? It's alright because I have my spray paint lid to clean the paint off my brush. And I have over here some paper towels to put brushes that aren't clean, but I might need again. So a larger brush just for the background. Let's go super largest brush I have. Oh no, then I can't get it into the... Ah! It's fine. It'll be fine. Okay, there we go. That's a nice kind of Washington sky, winter sky color. Right? Okay, cool. So now we have the sky part. And since this is, again, it's like a more porous rock, it's got those, you can see the like whole texture part. Sometimes you gotta stab it, get paint in there. But again, since there will be a tree or other kind of detail-y stuff to match the other half on this side, I think it's fine for a base coat. Sometimes too, if I mix a color and then I'm like, oh no, now I have a bunch of blah 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 blah, then I just paint it on another rock as some sort of base coat. Like, oh, this one that we used earlier to show the different sizes of pen. Perfect. Now it has a base coat for whatever we want to paint on this one. Like a cloud, or I don't know. I'm open to suggestions on anything. Well, anything you want to paint on these rocks that isn't, you know, obscene or offensive would be great. Okay, there's one with a base coat. So this is why I do many at once. It's because while that's drying, I can do something else. I have some other colors of paint ready, and the paint pens, I have a lot of colors, so that's also fun. So this can go off to the side with the paint until we're ready to come back to this tree. Or this one if we want to paint on it. This one might be a good one to paint on too, since it's so big. It's easier to do your painting with paint on larger rocks, I found. Unless, because even if you have a super tiny thin paintbrush, like one of these, it's still not as precise as a paint pen is going to be. Although paint pens do have like a bit of a bleed issue sometimes, like you saw before with that purple pen. You do the shake and then press down on the tip to kind of make sure the ink is flowing. Sometimes just a big old blob will come out. And sometimes I keep a piece of paper nearby. I have one over here. If I'm using the paint pens, just to have to do that with. So if I'm like, oh, this one looks like maybe I drew something, I can be like, oh, see how all that globbed out? It's nice to have it on the paper instead of on, you know, whatever detailed, intricate thing you were just working on. So this nice flat rock here, I can show you how to do a base coat on this one. Any color suggestions, chat? I have every color of the rainbow. Well, I mean, not every color. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, another orange, like a peachish, a pink, oh, and black and white and brown. So let me know what color background you think this should be, and I will color it that color. Emerald green. Alright, that's fair. Let's see here. I actually do have two shades of green, like a lighter green and a darker green. It's like this color and this color. This one's more emeraldy. That's what we're going with. See, oh, let's get my tester paper over. Thank you for being in agreement. Very helpful. Nice. Okay. Sometimes I can't tell, or I can't decide which side of the rock I want to paint on. If I can't decide, it's like whichever side's less stable. So if this side seems more stable, I'm just gonna like put it somewhere. So I'm gonna, oh, let me move this light. Maybe be less like my hands directly making a shadow. It's just like coloring with any marker. And depending like what we put on this, well maybe this is just we put like whatever's in your garden, just like write cucumbers on it. Oh, it's kind of looking like a cucumber. Or GeekGirlCon rocks. Hashtag GeekGirlCon rocks. Follow us on Twitch. If it seems like your Posca pen is like drying up or something, that's when you push the, oh, ah, panic. It's fine. Everything's fine. That's why there's a towel here. The best part's gonna take longer to dry because I made that puddle. I already know, but I could also do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then you don't want to immediately go over this with another pen or paint pen. Although that is another method that you can use if you're trying to be like extra artsy and do like blending, shading, you know. You can do another. Let me show you an example of that right now, because you already know, because I told you that I have another shade of green. Let's see. So you want to find a spot where the green is still kind of wet, like this side's already drying a little bit. So if I did this over here, oh, you can blend it a little bit, but if I did it over here, you can like make an intermediary green. Get that shading in there if you want to be super fancy. Which sometimes, let's be real, we all want to be super fancy. Sometimes. Not all the times, just sometimes. On alternate Tuesdays. Yeah, see down here, it's the first green is already drying a little bit, so it's less blendable at this point. And then, of course, now this pen has like some of the darker green on it. I can't really see that. But that's another time when you can use your little piece of paper that you keep off to the side. For example, what? That's not the color of this pen. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Oh, okay, back to normal. Whew. That was close. Blending, and we're blending. Yes, this is also a makeup tutorial if your face is green and a rock. Okay, so I mean, like, is this dry? It looks almost dry. Oh, that dries very quickly. That's nice. What was I gonna, oh, what did we decide on this one? We decided croissant. This would be another potential blending opportunity. I'm like, I don't know, what color is a croissant? Looks like a light brownish, beige-ish color. Right? So we put like some brown on there. So let's just see what happens if I color on this. This is like a very dark croissant. Oh, I did say maybe we make it a chocolate croissant. So this is also like, small. Where am I supposed to hold this rock? It's a real challenge. And then maybe this color? I don't know. I'm testing it off to the side. This is kind of like yellowy orangey. Okay. It's like too yellow, I feel like. Maybe this peachy one. This rock has two sides, so we could do a moon or a sailor moon or boat on the other side if we wanted to. Okay, it's looking a little more croissant-y. I have like a little tip there, right? I don't know, who bakes croissants? Have you ever made a homemade croissant? If so, what time am I coming over? Because that sounds amazing. I've personally never made croissants at home, but they are delicious, so maybe I should try. I did almost wear a shirt that says "We will rock you" to this stream, but then I realized it has like the presidents. It has the presidents. What's that monument where it's their faces, not the Grand Canyon? Ooh, Janae's made croissants before, and they were a task. Nice. Yeah, I assumed they would be kind of a hard baking project, but I am up for it because I love baking and I love croissants, and I'm having multiple people are saying they're delicious. Mount Rushmore. Ugh, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's been a long day. Why was I talking about Mount Rushmore? Oh, I was going to wear a shirt that said "We will rock you." It's Mount Rushmore, except they're all wearing sunglasses. And it says "We will rock you." So I almost wore that shirt, but then I realized that you wouldn't be able to see it, and I was like, I don't want to stand up and be like, "Everybody, look at my chest and torso." So instead, I just told you this great story about it. Yes, that was a Parks and Rec reference, so... Where are the faces? Ah, Andy. Parks and Rec is great. Yeah, I mean, I think croissants are... You do have to do that folding, like with layering it with the buttery bits, the flaky puff pastry type thing. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, those of you who have made croissants. That sounds right, like from what I know from the Great British Baking Show. Yeah, it seems like they're yes, all the recognizing of Parks and Rec reference is appreciated. And more. So do croissants have like decoration on them? How do we make this look more like a croissant? I mean, after it dries some. Let's like draw like little accent lines of where it's been like spirally folded over. Maybe some tiny almonds and a drizzle of chocolate. I'll just get out the real chocolate. I think I'll leave croissants to the French and the professionals. That might be a good choice. It's also an excellent quote. I just want to say, like, I think I'll leave the croissants to the French and the professionals. You know, quote mark dash. You know, 2021 GeekGirlCon Twitch stream. Quoted. I think Gandhi said that. Network connectivity. Yeah. I googled your symptoms and it says you have network connectivity problems. We all know that was an ad lib, right? Or that was great. Imagine a triangle that gets rolled up. Okay, that's helpful. Well, that sounded really sarcastic, but I did mean that, honestly. I was like, that actually is helpful. Okay, so it's like a triangle that gets rolled up. It's just, don't panic if it's not exact. It's just like some guidelines for later when this is dried more completely. Yeah, okay. Rolled up very, you know, like a shell. Similar to, whatever that shell is. Okay, again, it's probably called Mount Rushmore. This spirally type shell. Yeah. A triangle folded up. You can't really see that, but it's okay. That's just for me. Again, another good like quote or tagline for just croissants in general. It's just like, imagine a triangle that gets rolled up. That's a croissant. Yeah, that's a good one. That's another good quote. So this is probably dry enough that we can do the next part. I'm going to take the tape off so I can see where the tree is, because that'll be helpful. And I kind of sometimes save my painter's tape. It's like, so I'm going to stick it up here to my little desk area in case I need it for something else. You never know. Conch. A conch? No, those that have like the open part right at the end. I'm thinking of the one that the shell that just looks like a cone. But I'm not a shell scientist. So, sorry about that, camera. My apologies. So on this painty one, oh, I forgot I went all the way to the bottom. I guess I should do that. Get my paint back out. Extend it down. Ugh, except I didn't like use an exact color, right? I just mixed things randomly, like I do sometimes, so it's not gonna match. What are you gonna do? Yeah, okay, that's alright. That's pretty close. I'll take it. I'll take it. This is a kind of like activity when I like to have like Parks and Rec on in the background. Cone snails. Is that what they are? I mean, I don't know because I didn't know before, but I believe you. Is that also like a triangle folded up? That's a cone snail. Or a croissant. It's one of those things. If you imagine a triangle, it gets all rolled up, it's probably one of those things. Okay, I think that matches close enough. Good enough for me. Now I gotta clean this brush again. Even though I just used it for the same thing. Okay, you back to the waiting arena. Okay, so next up I would do the trunk of the tree. But I can trust you, you're a scientist. Okay. Trust achieved. I need some brown for the trunk. And there's no rule that says you can't use... I like your little science emojis. There's no rule that says you can't use multiple types of painting implements. You can use paint pens and regular paints if you want. And I'm just going to do that just to kind of outline where the tree is so I keep it kind of even. with the spring-summer half of the tree. There's a tree. And of course, if this half of the tree is going to be winter, this is clearly a deciduous tree, so it's going to have bare branches. I'm just going to draw some random lines maybe that kind of approximate where the branches might be. Because I don't know. Actually, for this, it might actually be better to use a pen because it's going to be like thinner lines and stuff. But you know what? I used paint on the other half. I'm going to use paint on this half. You can't stop me. I mean, you could try, but how? So I think I have some actual tubes of brownish color, and I want to use kind of like a darker, less warm brown since this half is in winter. But again, I'm going to use these old paint by numbers things to kind of do my mixing in because I want to, and that's my reason. I didn't bring, a pie plan or a pie pan or a pie plan. Although maybe one should always have a pie plan because pie is delicious. But yeah, I didn't provide myself with anything to mix paint on because I didn't want to. Okay, deal with it. I usually don't use actual paint a lot when I paint rocks. I usually just use the pens. It's kind of easier to just pull out and do if you're like, oh, I'm feeling creative, I want to do something for a little bit, but not too long and not too involved and not too messy or not too much cleanup. So that's kind of why I usually gravitate to the paint pens, and because I'm like a little perfectionist-y, so they just add, it's a lot easier to be precise with them over actual, I mean, even with this skinny brush, it's like probably gonna be hard still to make any sort of precise lines, which is fine. There's a time for that too, but if you want to make precise lines, it can get frustrating if you're just using a paintbrush. You know, and get pieces of your, especially since I use my old gross paintbrushes, I'm like, why are there little pieces of the brush on this rock now? Yeah, but no matter what we do, we're doing happy little lines on our happy little trees. Ooh, I'll bet there's lots of good shaped rocks that would make great Bob Rosses. So we should look into that. Oh, see, this paintbrush is just super old. It's like stiff. Right. So I need to get another one. But since the paint has kind of like glued all the bristles together, it's like, that's probably fine for when I want to make those happy little thin lines to make it look like wintertime branches. I think I have another kind of thin-ish one. Oops, what is this? Don't care. Where is it? Ah, here we go. It's always good too to start kind of at the top, because then if you start at the bottom and then try to paint your way up, you're like, ah, now there's paint all over my hands. What do I do? So yeah, we start up here at the top. I And I could put the painting tape back on the tree side if I really wanted to, but I don't. So, I'm not going to. Great story, right? Cool. So, yeah, this is when you're just like, la la la, painting a tree. And it's great. I saw this like tutorial for rocks like this where you do it in kind of stages somewhere online, and they did one that was all 4 seasons. I was like, oh, that's ambitious. I'm gonna start with 2. And then like this rock sat in this collection of in progress rocks for like a year. So 4 might be beyond me. But there are some cool like in time-lapse process videos that you can watch that are a fun place to get ideas or inspiration about like, oh, what if you don't know, like, oh, I want to paint rocks, but I don't really know what I want to paint on there. And you can browse the videos for fun patterns or designs, reasons to paint. If you're like, I don't want to just leave them out there for scavenger hunts or whatever. And to those communities you can find on Facebook or wherever for your area are fun to browse through too. You can see like what other people have been working on. You can see like, I painted these rocks for, whatever holiday, or I just really wanted to paint this, Lord of the Rings scene on a rock, or like, look at these minion rocks I made. I made 30. So it's kind of just a fun place to browse if you're looking for like wholesome, cute expressions of various fandoms or ideas. It's like, oh, I never would have thought of, trying to recreate in dots a portrait of someone. Anyone, really. But yeah, there's some out there that are like really detailed, where they're like, oh, I'm a professional artist and I just wanted to, paint a tiny portrait of Nelson Mandela on this rock. So it's like some amazing tiny art. I feel like people do art, I see more rocks painted kind of around the holiday season. People are like, oh, I really want to paint a bunch of fun ones like with the Grinch on them, or ones that say peace or something, and then just leave them places as like kind of gifts to the community instead of gifts to any like specific person, which is nice. I sometimes paint rocks with like a specific person in mind for like an event, or like, oh, their birthday's coming up or something. But usually I just kind of paint what I want, and then I'm like, oh, now what do I do with this? So that's why I have so many of the ones that I've painted. They're just like here still, and it's like, well, what do I do with this now? But I should put them outside, I guess. Yeah, and there's like a fun, and the community is like a fun kind of things you can do about like when and where you find them, and like where you hide them. I think I did one, I painted some rocks, and then like I went on vacation to visit my friend in Oregon. And then she took me on a walk to like her neighborhood park, and we'd had a fun like time trying to decide where to put this rock. Like, since it was from out of town, it was like more special to kind of hide it in a park there, because that's kind of a fun part of the treasure hunt, that you or children or you can discover is like, oh, where did this rock come from? What's its journey been? And then after you cherish it for a time, or you can re-hide it somewhere you want to go, or you go. So that's kind of a fun thing. Okay, that looks kind of like a tree, right? Looks like a tree to me. Cool. So now I gotta wait for that part to dry. Although we could probably do something at the bottom. I guess it would be like white, like snow, maybe? Ooh, yeah, I should put like snow on top of all the branches. Oh, and should this part of the tree have something else hanging off of it? Like this side has a swing. What hangs on the side of trees in the winter? Coming out blank. Oh, but maybe I could draw some snowflakes or something. I don't know. We'll come back to it. Because we also have our croissant, our mystery green one, this one that has no guidance, no rules. So, wash out my brush. Ooh, wind chimes. Wind chimes on the tree. That'd be nice. They'd be kind of small though. I'm worried that like I won't have the precision necessary. I guess I could make big wind chimes. That's fine. Oh, our little bird nest. Oh, I feel like I want to put that on the summer side though. The spring summer side. But maybe not. Excellent suggestions though. Thank you. Yeah. Have to ponder on it some. I don't know. What else do you see? I mean, some people hang like lights or ornaments and stuff from their tree, but and then I'm gonna finish this heart all the way around. Ooh, maybe instead of something hanging from the tree, I could do some snow down here, and then do like a snow person. Maybe? Ooh, lanterns. Oh, that'd be so cute. Oh, I like that too. Oh no. I guess it'd probably be too much hanging from the tree if it was lanterns and wind chimes and a bird's nest and a snowman. Or would it? I don't know. Well, to be continued. I should probably get the white ready at least, since that's gonna be next. Yeah, found it. And this green one was gonna maybe be a plant label, I'm thinking. What do I have that's growing out there? I have one squash growing, but I don't know what kind of squash it is because all the other squash died. I could just write squash. Well, I don't like it. What else do we have? I mean, we have strawberries, but those don't really need a label. I didn't really do a big, like, food veggie garden, so... Thyme. I'm more into herb gardens. My vegetables always seem to be sad and not work out. And also, yeah, this kind of looks like a person now. I don't know, do you see it? With like kind of Elvis hair. Come back to that one. This one needs to say something on it. Maybe it just says where to put my pens. No, I don't think it should say that. Let me just like put some let me just like write GeekGirlCon rocks on there. Should I turn this light on? Woo! Glare. I just don't like that my hand covers up the what I'm doing with shadow. I didn't really make it better. G. G. Geek. Oh no, I don't actually know what the right order on these colors is. It's like red, blue, and yellow. But I don't know the order. Ooh, I know what I want to do with this one. I want to put some like trees on it somehow. Some silhouettes of trees. I do have another green. I don't know how well it works. This is one of the ones that's not Posca, so let's see. Yeah. Oh! It's pretty dark. Now I feel like it should go this way. It's more like the top of a tree. It's like a layered type of thing. It could just be a forest, and then put something else in front of the forest. Well, I like to always, if I'm drawing a forest of pine type trees, make at least one of them do that tippy over thing at the top. So it's the state tree of Washington, the western hemlock. That's how you tell it's one of those, if the top does this tip. Oh, that was a bad example, but this one's pretty good. So if you are out in a forest and you see some pine trees, if the top just is straight like that, then it's not the state tree, the Washington state tree. If it does this like tip over at the top, then it is the state tree. The things you learn sometimes, some places. It's very specific learning. Yeah, and another one. I don't know, do you guys have a favorite type of tree? I'm part of this group on Facebook. It's called like Unique Trees or something. That stuff is crazy. It's so fun to see all the different kind of nature, different kind of ways that trees in nature grow and do weird stuff. Boop. I really like the western hemlock, but I don't kind of have a reason for it, which is fine. I just think it's cool that it's like it has this little distinctive tipping out over thing at the top. So that's fun. Yeah. Alright, we've started on this forest. Ooh, cedar. Cedar smells so good. I love the smell. Oh, I like oak trees because they're always very good to climb, and I feel like the way their branches kind of are weavy around is very aesthetically pleasing. I'm like, ooh, I like the way that looks. So that's nice. Smells nice and makes a solid Christmas tree. Alright. Nice. Better, well, more reasons than mine for liking the western hemlock. Just like, I just like it. And that's it. Those are my reasons. The large. No. I don't even, some trees I'm like, couldn't even tell you what that looked like. So, now we have our croissant, and I drew kind of some little folded triangle lines on it. So let's revisit that, see what's up. I think if I do it with like a dark brown and then do a white over that, you might be able to see it a little better. until it's, oh, I wanted to do like a kind of an outline too. Where's this croissant end? Down here. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I mean, hopefully this croissant ends in my mouth. Not this croissant. It's a rock. My dentist would not approve. Okay, so there's the nice outline. Oh, and a hair. And a little bit of this top fold of the triangle fold. And then down here with the second bit. Go like that. And then another one. It's a nice spiral going on. Oh, and I guess I should try to outline this side a little. Whatever. Yeah, if you have other rock-related puns, I was gonna try to say as many as I could, and then I forgot. It was gonna be like, let's get ready to rock. Paint. Laugh, 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 laugh. This tutorial will rock your socks off. Let's get ready to rock and roll. That's a good one if you have a particularly round rock. So you're welcome. Now let's get the white pen. My white pen is the one. You're bolder with puns than we are. That's thinking outside of the box of rocks. I was just sticking with only the word rock. So keep on rocking it. Let's rock this. You know what? You rock. So there is that. That's how I rock. That's how I rock. Ooh, by knocking over my camera again. That's how I rock and roll. I like the coming up with synonyms though for rock, and then well, you can just experiment into a whole nother line of pun options if you use that. Okay, I found a white pen. What is another? Stone? This is a time when I feel like blending two of the paint pens would be good. But I can't. I can do it. Okay, quickly! Before it dries! Oh, it's already dry. It's okay. I think this peachy color is better anyway. Good enough to eat if you don't value your teeth. Nice. This came straight out of the oven. It didn't. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. I do end up getting a lot of paint kind of on my hands, which is fine. Which is fine with me. I like it because then the next day people be like, oh my gosh, what happened to your hands? And then I can say whatever I want. Okay. Yeah, those are like too close together, really, to be accurate to croissants. But guess what? You don't have to be accurate. I mean, unless you want to. Unless croissant accuracy is super important to you, then I would like to apologize. Pebble. Another word for rocks. Pebble, boulder, stone, gravel. All this talking is making my voice gravelly. I don't know. Needs work. In my defense, I don't have a defense. In my defense, I'm tired. That's a defense. Definitely. I'll take it. Croissant? Anybody? I think I'm going to put some chocolate drizzle on there. Because it doesn't quite look like food-like enough to me. Which I'm sad about. But it's a happy little croissant. Eh? Aw, yum. Me? Nope, wrong way. Let's put some snow on this tree. I guess I can push this snow forward. Okay. Our forest over here. Our croissant over here. Yeah, croissants are not easy, okay? It's not an easy thing to draw. I need a reference. Although my friend Katie also requested that I draw the rock on a rock. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need a reference pic for that. Wait, I guess I could do it with this smiley face one. Okay, here's the rock on a rock. Okay. And then just give him one super raised eyebrow. So that's his look, right? The rock on a rock. Crushed it. I mean, I didn't crush the rock into a pebble, but you know what I'm saying. I can't raise an eyebrow, so I can't do the face, the official rock face. He's less smiley than that too, but you know what? It's an interpretation, and all art is beautiful, especially this highly accurate. Just give him another eyebrow, I guess. Yeah. I would crush it in a quarry. I'm so sorry. Just draw his eyebrow. That's good too. Okay, so this is the rock on a rock. But you know what is also a rock on a rock? You'll see. This is Tereshkova's request. Just draw the eyebrow. I mean, it's more black than brown, I'm pretty sure. Again, this is just all from memory, so don't judge me too harshly. The rock on a rock. It's off camera to prolong the suspense. Ooh, abstract. Yeah, I like that. You know that The Rock was in an episode of Star Trek Voyager? I was like, what are you doing there, The Rock? And he was like, this. I was like, alright, that's fair. I'll take it. Oh, you could go abstract and draw a turtleneck and shape. I like it. I'm doing it on this one. Here's the turtleneck. Oh, it looked kind of like it was a turtleneck sleeveless shirt there. Hey! Okay, I feel like it should be darker blue, but... Ugh. Ooh, yeah, it's still damp enough. We'll get that nice, like, knit vibe with the blendiness. Blendiness. That's an official term. Definitely. And my turtleneck sweater. Nice. Okay, here's the rock on a rock, aka just the eyebrow. Here's also the rock on a rock. He's smiling too much, and he looks a little angry. He's got the turtleneck sweater, no chain yet, because it would just blend right into his sweater at this point. But, you know, sometime soon. Oh no, this way. Smiley face. Well, smirky eyebrow face. And turtleneck sweater. So we'll add that chain in a little bit, but we're coming up towards the end here. So we have like about 15 more minutes to rock on, or keep on rocking it. So we gotta finish this one. Let's see, I need a yellow and blue. Okay, got yellow. I literally just used the blue. Where did it go? Ha! I put it away like I was being responsible. What a nerd. What a geek. Whatever. Geek. Girl? This is definitely the wrong color order. I think. I don't know. Just another thing I don't have memorized. Like the rock's face. And the name of Mount Rushmore. Geek Girl. Cool. The red is a little hard to see because I think I had recently used the red on top of some other color. This is just like another example. You could just write something on a rock. Or you could not write something on a rock. GeekGirlCon. You could just draw a fun design. Like, on this. Just be like, I'm just gonna draw some confetti. 'Cause that's fun. Other confetti shapes, circles, ooh, or dots. I didn't mean to fill that, but it happened, and that's fine. More twirlies, squares, or rectangles, another swirly, just fun. And let's see if the red is any better. How you doing, red? I'm testing it on my tester piece of paper, which sometimes looks prettier than any rocks I paint. And that's fine. So we can add some more confetti on here. Another swirl, another dot, triangle, tweedly-doo, tweedly-dee. Look at that. It's done. Beautiful. It's a party rock. in the house tonight. I'm sorry, that was embarrassing. Okay, this one, we just need to write geek a little bit better with this pen. Better, I mean brighter. It's hard to read. I could outline it in another color, but that's hard. Boom, GeekGirlCon. What's up? And then, you know, actually if I put this rock with this rock. Whoa. Whoa. GeekGirlCon rocks. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Let's add some snow to this rock. Move this forest up here because I don't think the forest is going to get finished tonight. Can't see the forest for the trees. This is an example when I would just maybe put the paint like directly on the rock because it's just going to be white. It's freshly fallen snow. Because I didn't want it to be gross snow. And it doesn't have to be realistic, you know? If you want to try to make it realistic, that's cool. But that's a challenge. And I don't feel like challenging myself right at this moment on this rock. So this white is not great. But it did come from the dollar something. So that's kind of to be expected. You know? Yeah. That's okay. It's just a first coat, a base coat. So that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. That song is a lot. Everybody just have a good time. We're gonna make you lose your minds. What's a lyric, right? I think that's a lyric. I don't know. I usually change the station when that song comes on, unless I'm feeling it, which is rare, but has happened. So, no judgment. So I have this other white. I'm going to see if maybe it will be a little more substantial with my very thin paintbrush. Oh, nope, it is like dried out. So I don't recommend that. Put that one away. Boop. I like the idea of a snowman. And maybe some lanterns on the tree. Or maybe later I'll put some like at the very end. I'll put like little white snow drop type things in all these little annoying holes that this super porous rock has in it, which would be fun. Let's see here. Snow person. Give me a snow person. Yeah, I don't really ever feel that song with any regularity. Party rock, that is. But sometimes it comes on and I'm like, you know what? Sure. Today. It's like a once in a great moon. It's just like, okay. I just need, you know, there's a time and a place for every song, every music. So it's like sometimes it's, you know, going to be one time for 10 seconds and that's it. And that's okay. Do some like snowy accents up here on this less intimidating area. There's snow on the branches. Snow on the roof. It's all gonna cave in, which is fun. I mean, there's no rule too that says you can't have a swing still on your tree when it's winter time. It just might be, I don't know, weird if you had two swings. I mean, not weird, but like, I think I want the winter side to have something else besides a swing. I mean, I would sit on a swing in winter, hanging from a tree. Well, it's getting close to 9 here, so I'm gonna just finish up a couple little things and then we'll let y'all go. I showed you guys some rocks that I'd already painted. A variety of styles. And I know a lot of people who paint rocks just for fun or to give as gifts or put in their gardens. My auntie's given me some that have been real cute. Painted rocks with some friends. Just as like a, oh, let's do an activity together. Or like let's hide them for our nephew next time we go on a walk, which is fun. And everybody has their own, you know, artistic style, which is great. It's fun to see kind of what and how other people are inspired to make their art. Here's a little snow person, little outline of a snow person over here that I'll finish later. Maybe give them a croissant or a fun hat. They're kind of topsy-turvy. Or maybe I'll put a bunch of tiny little snow people around them, a la Calvin and Hobbes style. Yeah, this is where like it would be fun to do like all these little, you can't really see because my camera's all weird. All these little holes, just like boop, poke them with the white and then it kind of looks like snow, which is fun. You know, so I like to kind of work with the texture, but you can just do designs, fun hashtags, or just inspirational sayings, whatever fandom you're currently into, or just, you know, doodles, patterns, designs, swirlies. The possibilities are endless. The rock's abilities are endless? Well, that makes it sound like the rock has abilities. I mean, this rock. Obviously, the eyebrow rock does. There you go. There's the snow. Ah, blinded by the light. Snow on the side. Okay, and last up, I think we'll clean up this brush here. Put some chocolate drizzle on our croissant. And then call it a night. If you are using acrylic paint and it is too dry, you can try to mix some water in there with it. Kind of get it back to the consistency that you were looking for. Now you don't need a reason to paint rocks, you can just do it for fun. But you can also bring joy to many other people. You can, you know, build your community, make people happy, give them as gifts, decorate your garden. The possibilities, the rocks abilities, I already said that, no, are endless. Darn it. Oh, the chocolate drizzle is running out. Oh no. Ta-da! Look at that delicious croissant. I mean, I would eat it. So good. Oh, wow, I didn't know the Puyallup Community Garden Pebble Patch. It's like those rock libraries, has a take a rock, leave a rock thing. And my mom just got back from a walk, and she took a rock. And it's this cute tree. Yeah, so there are, you're gonna see them everywhere now. Rocks just everywhere on paths. So if you are in, that was her walking by, in an area that might have a community garden or a park or something like that, you will see rocks there. And now you can leave some there that say, you know, GeekGirlCon rocks or whatever. Here's the picture of the pebble patch in the Puyallup Community Garden. Pebble patch. Take a rock, leave a rock. So cute. Okay, so that was rock painting basics. And this, I'll let you know how this snowman turns out. We forgot, oh, I didn't put a chain on this very, very realistic rock. Oh, but you know what? I can. Nailed it! There we go. The rock on the rock says goodbye. And here's a forest, some confetti, and yeah. So that's going to be it for the stream tonight. Thanks for joining us here at the GeekGirlCon channel for our Geek Girl Creates. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. I just learned that you get one free Twitch subscription if you have Amazon Prime, so you can do that to subscribe to our channel, which would be amazing. And our next stream is going to happen on, oh, I'm such a gem. Thanks, Janae. Is that a pun? I love it. Our next stream is going to be on Thursday, and Prime, Julia, Christina, and Becca are going to be up for some more Valheim shenanigans. Will they defeat the Elder? I don't know. That's the name of the stream. Maybe. It's going to be on Thursday at 7. We're streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7. So check that out, and we'll see you there. Alright, thanks for joining us tonight. Bye. Have a good night. You guys rock. You rock.